Mace, the diss track. You know, what I mean, he just dropped it. You know, he came at Puffy, man. Damn, man, how you feel about that, yo? Like, golly, he went in, yo.
Well, this ain't the first time somebody went at Puff on a diss track. You know what I'm saying? As far as, we know the Tupac thing, but it's a diss track that nobody ever heard of, but by the person who wrote Missing You. Source Money did a diss track on him because he wasn't receiving the money for writing Missing You. So he wrote this diss track and sent it to Jay-Z. Jay-Z immediately got on the phone and called Puff and said, yo, my man, you don't want this to get out. You do not want this diss track to get out on you, bro. And Puff cut Source Money a check for 100 some G's or more than that or something like that. But I know it was in the thousands, 100,000s. Puff cut that nigga a check on the strength that Jay-Z told him, yo, you don't want to get that out. I wish Source Money put it out now. But it is what it is. So as far as Mace is concerned, I think Betha just went back to what he was used to. Mace was one of the guys in Harlem world that he can go bar for bar with you or probably better than you. So he went back to what he know. You understand? And then he put it together. Now, I'm not too fond of the auto tunes, but I don't really care for it that much because I've heard Mace do a diss track before, and he could put it together. And some of the stuff he said in there, man, that shit was crazy. It was stuff that people probably known or people wanted to say, but they was always scared to say. Some of the artists, some of the people that work for him, everything. He touched on a whole lot of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? He touched on a whole lot of things in that shit. And as far as, how I feel about it, I wouldn't say I got no feelings for it, nothing like that. It was just something that was good. And I guess for Mace, it was about time.
Yeah, man, that diss track was crazy, man. But I want to get into some of the bars that Mace said on that song and get your comments on it, my man. The first line he said that caught my attention was him saying that niggas trying to starve my kids and give my money to his firstborn. Speak on that, my man, because that's one of the first things he said in that song that stood out to me.
Same thing the Lock said. and so and so many other and lesser words, because the Lock said, I seen my publishing in his first son name, in Justin's name. So I guess he using Justin's name to, to hide that other money. You know what I mean? And all the people that he was, buying their publishing and taking their publishing and everything like that, he was putting it in his firstborn name, Justin's. That's all I was saying. That was self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? And you got to look at Mace in this way, man, that damn, brother, did you know that Bad Boy franchise? Now, I'm talking about with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. They used that song in every movie. That was the pinnacle song of Bad Boy 1, 2, Bad Boy Renewed, Bad Boy Reloaded. And can you imagine Mace didn't get a dime for that shit? Because he don't own the publishing? That's crazy. And that was his song. Or maybe he did. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But if Puff owned his publishing, damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. But another line that he said in that song, and you actually made a video on your channel a few days ago breaking this down and explaining exactly what he meant. Mace, he said that he was hunted by the voice of St. James. Elaborate on that, my man, because he was talking about Biggie when he said that, right?
Mace knew that those cats and people was trying to get at Big. He had to know because he went to the game. And when he came back to that basketball game in California, the week of the Soul Train, when you see that picture when he was with those dog pound guys in the whole 9 yards, he knew they wanted Big and Puff. And he told Puff, And Puff probably told him not to say nothing to Big because that would have probably spooked Big a little more so Big didn't go out that weekend. You understand? Because I'm sure if Mace would have been like, yo, Big, yo, them niggas talking about they want to get you. They want to, the people, the fans, all the people in the gym, those dudes up there, Big. They want you, bruh. If Mace would have told Big that shit, I can't imagine Big not getting on that plane saying, man, shit, I'm going to London or somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? So if he's haunted by the voice of St. James or the ghost of St. James or however you want to put it, it's because he didn't do his due diligence as a label mate, as an artist, to get at Big to tell him, nigga, do what I did. You see, Mace didn't go, right? Mace or Bethel didn't go to the party. But he was in the room with Brandy. Okay. But that's what that means, man. You know, he's looking back and saying to himself, yo, I should have did my due diligence. I should have probably spoke to Big about this shit, man, and try to convince him not to go to the party too. Because whether he was with Brandy or whoever he was with, Mace wasn't coming to that party.
So Mace was told the day before the incident at the celebrity basketball game that someone was coming for Puffy and Biggie. And another line that Mace said that caught my attention, man, was him saying that if niggas never found the killer, why is niggas living there? How do you feel about him saying that? Because it sounds like he's referring to Biggie getting killed in LA, and Puffy, he's currently living in LA right now, and why does he feel so comfortable living somewhere that Biggie got killed at, knowing that they never found the killer and the murder is still unsolved?
Well, on all honestly, brother, you would have to ask him that. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm looking at it like that, then I know, you know, those mansions are heavily guarded, one. Two, he wasn't getting the love that he would get. I don't think he getting love in LA. I don't know. He said he owns LA, he runs LA, he runs Miami, and he runs New York. So by him running LA, as he say he does, I would feel comfortable too. You know what I'm saying? If I knew for a fact that the person they got, and that was enough to call back all of everything, I would feel that comfortable too. But I wouldn't live there. I wouldn't go there. I'd do business and get on out of there if I was still afraid. I don't think he may have not ever been afraid. You understand? Because he never acted like he was afraid for whatever reason it was. I can't pinpoint it myself, man. The kid had me running around California like it was a joke, and I knew better than that. So by Mace saying that, I guess Mace was like probably putting the finger on Puff a little bit. Yo, dude, you know why you living out there now, because you know big murders was enough to make everything be smooth. Whatever that everything is.
Do you think Puffy know who is responsible for Biggie death? Do you think he got some inside info on who killed Biggie? Because the murder is still unsolved, so that is wild for him to be living in LA knowing that Biggie got killed in LA, knowing that the murder is still unsolved. That's crazy, man, when you think about it.
Well, if he's listening to the FBI, he knows what happened to Big's killer. He knows what happened to the people who was behind that. If he's listening to the FBI. If he's listening to the streets and everything like that, still in all, they wanted him just as much they wanted Big. If so much they wanted Big. We knew that Big was having flack from the dog pound cats and maybe a few dudes at Death Row, or maybe not. Puff was having flack from the dog pound, I guess, and he was trying to straighten that out. That's probably the reason why him and Snoop went to that thing with the Steve Harvey show. But anyway, I think Puff was just trying to air some stuff out. So he knew Big was leaving his label. He knew Big was starting his own label, having his own thing. So he was trying to straighten out as much as possible so that none of that shit that was happening with the Junior Mafia would go over to Bad Boy and their artists when they start their new thing.